This month, we're highlighting the women behind all the men you see in the pulpit. But in this morning's feature, more than just a pastor's wife, a woman who's in the pulpit herself and the long journey that took her there.
This is my time for change. It's my time for change. Hallelujah.
Wright never imagined she'd spend her life trying to save souls, much less become a pastor's wife.
I'm least likely to be married to a pastor. That's my testimony.
And why is that?
Church was not it for me. You know, I just really found affirmation in other areas. In fact, I think a lot of people were shocked when they got my wedding invitation. It said, Reverend Wright.
Her story begins far before a walk down the aisle, though. In fact, her journey with God began when she was dating a guy she says she never should have been with.
The Lord spoke to me through a dream, and the dream was really an awakening experience because he showed me how the devil was fighting for my soul. And it was so moving. It just seemed so real. And even to think about it today, I get so choked up.
It also brought her closer to her own father, a man she barely knew growing up.
And because my father was absentee in my life, I felt like God was absentee. And a lot of women do think that too. Their children have divorced and their parents are not together. They allow that break to keep them and separate them from one parent. But God said, no, build a bridge.
And what a bridge she's helped build. 7 years ago, when her 3 boys were in school, she too began to study, going to seminary, then joined her husband in the pulpit at Fountain of Praise. For her, it was a major paradigm shift.
I did not grow up with any women preachers in my life. I never thought women could preach or be used in that manner.
It's an intense job with no set hours, no holidays, no weekends.
In our life, we don't turn it off. We're pastors 24/7. When they get emails from me, Jan, at 3 o'clock in the morning or 2 o'clock in the morning, I get messages back saying, what are you doing up? Well, guess what? I'm always up.
But she says she wouldn't change 1 minute of her life, especially when she can help change a life forever. Today, thousands of women from across the country come together at her annual conference, all to worship God. It's been 17 years since her husband started the church. Back then, they had 75 members. Today, they have more than 14,000. It is the 59th fastest growing church in America and one of the few mega churches where you'll see a husband and wife team pastoring together.
When I look back over my life, I see how God was carefully orchestrating and lining up the things to allow me to gather knowledge, to gather wisdom, to gather experiences so that I could be in a place where he could really use me and then be able to share those experiences.
Man, what a strong woman she is. I want to show you this real quick because she has a conference coming up the first weekend in March. It's called Metamorphosis. It's a women's conference. Let me open it up. Look how cool that is. Isn't that cool, Jose? It's all about, as this brochure says, restoring, renewing, redefining, rebuilding, and rejoicing. And it's all for women. Although she does say she has a lot of men who try to come. You know, but we're talking thousands of women from across the country who come to her conference every single year, so you really should check it out. And just an amazing story and an inspiration. We just had a grand time at her house. I really enjoyed talking to her.
As well.
Oh my, just so powerful. Well, you could see right there in the interview, we had a hard time, you know, putting that down and condensing it. I wish I could have ran the whole thing, and we'll probably put some of that on our website too. We'll try to get that on there. I've had a lot of emails about it, and we really thank all of the pastors who've talked to us. I believe next Monday we're going to have Victoria Osteen. She's going to share some stuff with us and a very candid conversation with her as well. So you're going to want to stay tuned. We're going to do this every Monday for the whole month. The time right now, 7:44.